If there comes a day when you like me, if you're also mistreated and cursed, what will you think? What will you do? You feel hopeless and depressed. If there comes a day when you like me, if you're misunderstood and bullied, what will you think? What will you do? Would you have the blues and feel the pain? We are now virus. Discrimination's a virus. We are only parents and children. We need fairness and justice. We're all fellow beings. We share the same planet, and we're in the same boat. We're all the same. We need a tolerant world. If there comes a day when you like me, if you're misunderstood and bullied, what will you think? What will you do? Will you have the blues and feel the pain? We are now virus. Discrimination's a virus. We are only parents and children. We need fairness and justice. We're all fellow beings. We share the same planet, and we are in the same boat. We're all the same. We need a tolerant world. You will have your own lovely baby. You also have your own loving parents. You also have your own sweet family. What will you choose to do when they are suffering? We are now virus. Discrimination's a virus. We are only parents and children. We need fairness and justice. We're all fellow beings. We share the same planet, and we're in the same boat. We're all the same. We need a tolerant world.
Good evening, everyone. 大家晚上好。My name is Lily Chen. 我叫陈建。I'm a senior advisor for UCA and board chair for the United Chinese American Illinois chapter. What a powerful song. So with that song, illustrate the purpose of tonight's meeting, which is to end discrimination and anti-Asian hate, while we wanted to come together also to provide healing and also hope to our community. With that being said, here is our UC President, Haipei Xie. Haipei, please.
Hi,
Haipei.
everyone. Thank you very much for coming out on a Saturday evening for this amazing event that we put together within 48 hours. Over 20 cities across the country are getting together in memory of the 8 lost lives, including 6 Asian American women. This is unacceptable. This is something that finally gets Asian Americans together as never before. And I myself has never seen the Asian American community this scared, this angry, and this mobilized. I think we're not going to be pushed around anymore. That's it. And let's start the evening with a silence of moment first for 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that powerful moment of silence in remembrance of those innocent lives lost, all 8 of them, and 6 of them Asian American women. We are going to have a pastor to set a prayer for us.
I'm now prepared to offer a prayer. Eternal God, Father of us all, thou who hast created all out of one blood, you've created all men to dwell upon the face of the earth. Lord, we know that it grieves your heart, as our hearts are grieved. We are filled with sorrow at the violence and the death perpetrated on 8 women of your creation. We thank you for the Chinese community and for what they stand for. We thank you, Lord, and we pray that you would bring them out of their fear, bring them out of their scaredness. Lord, we pray that you would intervene, and that those responsible for the death of those 8 women, Lord, that they might be brought to justice. May justice be found in an unjust society. We thank you for the conveners of this conference. We pray that all would go well. I ask you this request in the almighty name of our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for the prayer. Let justice be done and let the healing begin.
Yes.
Let's go to the next item. We will have a violinist to play a music for us.
Violinist Carson Tavener is from Seattle, Washington State, and he's been involved in the U.S.-China relations for 35 years. And during those 35 years, he has worked a lot to push the better understanding of the people of 2 countries and the state of Washington and China together closer. And he's going to play a Christian theme. It is called Well With My Soul. Violinist Carson, please.
Yes, thank you for the honor of allowing me to lift this music up. 这个是照相的。你得以这个 memorial 为背景，你到时候放到你那个
OK
上面。
OK，
我口罩很厚实的。
没事。
I hope that this music has helped you to participate in our remembering of those loved ones who have been lost to hate, and may we respond in love.
It is well within my soul. Thank you for the beautiful music. Next, Haipei, could you please introduce our community leaders from the Korean community and also from Jewish community and African American community? Taipei, please.
Hi, next in line, I would like to introduce our speaker, Abraham Kim. Mr. Kim is the executive director of Council of Korean Americans, a new but a very well-established members of Korean communities in this country. Their community has suffered a lot together with us, and we are suffering together. And it is quite fitting and proper that we have Mr. Kim here representing their community. Thank you, Abraham.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to speak this evening. I really appreciate the opportunity to address this community together and grieve together, but also to have hope together with our Asian American brothers and sisters. We do grieve and mourn the loss of the 8 people that died last week. But let us not only remember these wonderful people in their lives, but also let us carry on their legacy by making sure that we as a community do not only not forget their memories, but also to ensure that our community is not invisible. We have to be able to work together, stand together, and highlight the importance of the Asian American community and how not only our government, our community, our society, and the broader United States needs to work together to fight this hate against our community. And so we are here in solidarity with other Asian American communities, your community, and we look forward to working with you in this fight against hate for our community so that our grandparents, our children, our great-grandchildren, our children, our grandchildren can all walk the streets, live our lives, and live in prosperous safety in this country. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I am honored to address all of you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abraham, for coming to share your message with us and our community's in solidarity with those Asian American women who passed. So next speaker, Haipei, can you introduce the next speaker? Thank you.
Next speaker will be Ron Halber. Ron is the executive director of Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington, D.C. And Ron has been working with Asian Americans community many times, and we work together in good time and in bad times. When our community was in trouble, the Jewish community stood up for us many times, and then also the other way around. And it is a great honor to have Ron here. Ron, please.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you this evening. Tonight, on behalf of the Jewish community, I'm here to express our sorrow and outrage at the ongoing bigotry and violence that has been directed at Chinese Americans and Asian Americans across the nation. We stand with you in solidarity and friendship. The murder of innocent Asian Americans in Atlanta is the manifestation of the worst of America and will forever remain a horrible blight and stain on our history, We remember with deep appreciation and gratitude how United Chinese Americans mobilized over 130 local Chinese American organizations to write a letter of support to the Jewish community expressing their sorrow, solidarity, and friendship when 7 American Jews were killed and 6 wounded at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh over 2 years ago. Today, we stand with you. Your pain is our pain. Your grief is our grief. Your loss is our loss. You are our friends and family. And when we say in the Jewish community, we will be here for you in both action and word, you can count on that. As a minority, we in the Jewish community understand what it means to be marginalized or the other. And we will not stand for our Chinese American and Asian American friends and family to be treated that way. You have every right to live free from bigotry, free from violence, free from fear, and with total equality and acceptance. We in the Jewish community will accept nothing less and will stand with you shoulder to shoulder every step of that journey as we work, as we together reach to fulfill that goal. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
So now, as we are waiting for Gerald Givens, our African American fellow citizens and friends, we are going to go to how about, I know that DC is ready to showcase your event. Changfu, are you there? Can you give us a brief about what you're doing in DC in front of the memorial?
Thank you for being here, everybody. This is Changfu Chan. We are at the nation's capital. I'm with a group of Chinese Americans and friends from nearby states of Maryland and Virginia. The sun just set, and we are standing in front of great President Lincoln Memorial. And it is really a beautiful night, but it's a dark day. I mean it. We don't have to be here, but the Chinese Asian Americans are under assault. We come here to honor, to mourn the lost lives in Atlanta. What happened in Atlanta is not an isolated incident. It is long coming. It is historic, and it's a long anti-Asian sentiment, xenophobia, discrimination, and hate crimes. And it has resulted in that. These ugly things were there when in 1882, this nation passed its infamous Chinese Exclusion Act. These ugly things were there when Japanese Americans were rounded up and herded to internment camps during World War II. And these ugly things were there when Chinese Americans and many minority members lived in fear during the dark days of McCarthyism. Yes, we are still living in fear today. And we are here, Chinese Americans, Asian Americans, all our minority members. We wake up, we rise up, we speak up to fight for our rights. And today we make a promise. We will not stop until racism stops. And today is a new beginning. We promise we will make America a better, a more inclusive place that every one of us will enjoy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this historic moment and movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chang. Thank you so much. Ying Chao, are you here? We would like to hear you to lead us a song called "We Shall Overcome."
Okay, we're gonna sing a song, "We Shall Overcome."
Yeah, we shall overcome. And then all the audience, if you will, okay, there we go, Ying Chao. Thank you.
Ying Chao, can we say a few words about "We Shall Overcome"? Can you say a few words about it?
Ying Chao is our from New Jersey, and he's a UCA's board member and talented songwriter, singer, and everything in between.
Hello, everybody from New Jersey to everybody. I'm going to sing this repeat 2 times. So you can sing along with me. We shall shall overcome someday. Second time, you sing along with me.
We shall.
We shall
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for this powerful song, Yingtao, and sharing your beautiful gifts. We are going to move on to the next presenter from Atlanta. Our community leader, Wang Jin from Atlanta, right at where the tragedy happens.
Now, as you can see, there's many flowers from all kinds of, all race of people. Right now, as we standing here, the local, 3 of the local Atlanta local news media, 11 the most largest news media is here, and just interviewed the UCA Atlanta chapter president Charles Lee, and also there are several Black people and also some Latino people, and earlier there's some Asians came here, and we all had the similar feeling. And we really sad about this incident, about our Asian people being as a victim of some personal issues or hatred. And this has been, in the past years, this has been so many anti-Asian incidents. And this is a tip point for us to stand up and to cry our voice, stop hate Asians.
Thank you so much. Will you be able to talk or with the families of the victims, and how are they doing?
Right now, the family, it's late now. The family member probably is not here, and this story is a Korean family. Mm-hmm. And we have another group of another group of people went to the Chinese run spa in the north, and maybe later on they will get online, and hopefully they can also show you the on-site scenes.
Thank you so much. Please do send our deepest condolences to them and tell them that we're here with them, and give them a big hug or ear hug during the pandemic. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. And I read the news the other day that one of the Koreans, the victims' sons, started a GoFundMe fundraising on Facebook. That was about 2 days ago. About $1.3 million have been raised. So that is really a silver lining of this terrible tragedy, that see the humanity and hope and kindness from people. Hopefully, thank you for being the vehicle of kindness to Chinese community, to the victims family. Thank you so much. We may come back to you, but thank you for all the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. So,
thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so
Lily,
much, UCA Atlanta.
Can we have
yeah.
a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Haipei Xu. I'm in the Washington Lincoln Memorial on the mall. If you can see in the background, can you see that?
Yes, yes, we can see that.
Memorial.
Yeah.
And we have our altar
这是他们在
in
那个
memory of the lost lives here. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
That is very sobering.
And this
Beautiful
is
too.
right in front of Nations Monument. And here are our participants. We got about 30 people come all the way from the suburb. And here's the Washington Monument.
Beautiful.
And we have many more here. All right, before I give this back to you, I would like to introduce the president of Northern Virginia Chinese Parents Association president, Zhou Yuyan. Yeah, sorry about this, Yuyan. Now she has prepared the speech, and here's her time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zhou Yuyan. I'm the president for Chinese American Parents Association of Northern Virginia. Tonight, we are here to honor the memories of those 8 innocent lives lost in the tragic Atlanta shootings. I can't imagine the pain that their families are feeling right now. Our hearts and prayers go out to you, and we want you to know that we are here with you. Members in the Asian American community have felt increasingly anxious as we're watching those anti-Asian attacks incidents across the nation rising to nearly 4,000. Those unthinkable tragedies has brought us here at the capital of this nation to raise the urgent awareness to combat racial violence. Enough is enough. As a nation, we must remember we are all Americans. Unite we stand, divide we fall. And thank you. Thank you for everyone who joined us on this event.
We're going to start with Richmond. And so would you please introduce yourself, your name, and the name of your organization, and give a brief summary of the scene here. Thank you so much.
I don't want to okay, so this is Candlelight live from Richmond, Virginia. We are gathered here, 100 to 150 people in front of the Korean church in Richmond to honor the people who lost their lives. We have a representative from U.S. Representative Abigail, and we also have us, me, and also local officials. We have a Chinese organization, Korean organization, Asia Pacific organization, all gathered together here today to show the unity to fight against the Asian hate. So I think if you can, everybody can see everybody having candlelights. And we started with Amazing Grace. And last but not least, I want to thank our team, our community. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your great work.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Hello, everyone. This is Jungwan Tiedemann from Buffalo, and I represent Chinese Club in Western New York. And here you can see this event. Although we only called for this event 2 days ago, we have already gathered more than 150 people in this huge parking lot at the University of Buffalo. And we had all colored people come to speak and to support us. And I feel grateful. And now it is the last program in this morning service. And we're all gonna sing 大海的故乡 in Chinese. Please enjoy.
海云层苍，大海呀大 是我生长的地方。海风吹，海浪涌，随着漂流四方。大海呀大海。
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jensen is the president of the largest Chinese American organization from Chicago. So Jen, I would like you to introduce yourself and give a recap of what a wonderful job you're doing today.
Well, thank you. We had a wonderful event this afternoon. It's very encouraging. So basically, we have this organization, CAGC, Chinese American Association Greater Chicago. We are co-organized this afternoon's event with City of Chicago Human Relations, who's responsible for hate crime, and also the Cook County Sheriff's Office. And we also invite the government officials from federal level. We got a message from Senator Tammy Duckworth, and also Congressman Roger Rushman-Cozy, and also we have a state senator and also a state representative, and also from the county level and the city level, and also from the aldermen who's responsible for Chinatown, and also police commanders. So basically, everybody come together from each of those levels to share their thoughts about what they're gonna do for the Asian community in terms of pushing for resolutions and also adding the police force and also Chinese-speaking police powers to protect Asian American. We also have Attorney General of Illinois join the meeting, and promising that he will add, the state of Illinois will adding and enhance the prosecution power to prosecute the hate crimes against Asian American. So in this meeting, we have told the audience that our organization CAGC, even before the Atlanta shooting case, the hate against Asian American has been increased in the past 12 months. So even before this Atlanta shooting case, we have sent our request to the state of Illinois. Our Asian American representatives asked them to pass the resolution to condemn the racism behaviors and also to promote the diversity within the state of Illinois. And most importantly, we want them to also pushing for teaching Asian American history in the school system to enhance the education for those people, for everybody, because according to AAPI, the hate crime is not only body harms, but 60% are verbal abuse. Those things, we think the root of the problem is lacking of education and the respect for Asian American in the community. So the meeting went very well. We have officials from each level of the government to promise that they will push the resolution. As a matter of fact, after the meeting, I got the message from Alderman that City of Chicago is going to discuss the resolution next Wednesday, and hopefully it's going to pass the Wednesday for the anti-Asian hate crime resolution for City of Chicago. And the Illinois State has just passed the resolution to teach Asian American history in the school. So we think we are, because everybody's efforts, we're moving things forward, and it's very, very encouraging. And this afternoon, we have more than 1,000 people joined the Zoom, and we just set for 1,000, should set more. And also we have, it's audio, the video is broadcasting live stream in YouTube, on YouTube. So over 1,500 people are with us live, and we show the government agencies that we are Chinese American are united, and we are our our request is powerful, and we really care about our rights. So I think it's a very important message. Just want to share so much with you, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jen, for your incredible leadership. So very proud of a former Chicago resident. So keep up with your great work with the UCA Illinois. Thank you, Jen. So I just got a word that Jianning is ready. So if you wanted to, from Atlanta, if you want to have a moment, a minute to share what you want to say.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much. Again, thanks to UCA and all the participants tonight to share your feelings and your sympathies to the victims and then to people in Atlanta. I want to show you quickly. I know you have seen the other massage place, and this is another one. This is the one in the northwest of Atlanta, in Ackworth. And the owner of this massage parlor is a Chinese. So throughout the day, you can see all the flowers and the candles. Throughout the day, you see people coming in, stop by, lay their flowers and light their candles. And also you can see right now there are people still coming in. And we have the local CBS channel is interviewing, this is actually the sister of one of the customers was killed at this store. So again, today, you probably, all of you probably have saw the news about the demonstration occurred in Atlanta. There are over thousands of people attended the event, and both senators representing state of Georgia, Senator Warnock and the Senator Ossoff, spoke at the event. And it was a very peaceful event. It was as well as a powerful event. And I think this is another wake-up call for the Asian Americans and for Chinese Americans. And we should stand up and we should speak up. Anything happens to us, we need to let the public know, let the law enforcement know. We cannot just remain silenced. We need to speak up, and this is the moment that we have to do that. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so much for speaking up for us as a community for your great work. So I'm now going to turn to Gerald Givens. Mr. Givens is the president of NAACP Raleigh and Apex chapter, is a good friend of Chinese American community, and we did Food of Love together and working together to serve our local community. He's a powerful voice for advocacy, Gerald. I know that you just came back from the Cary Vigil, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'd love to hear from you.
Hey, I wanted to thank you all for inviting me out here to share this moment with you all. I was just at the Vigil here in Cary, and it was absolutely beautiful. Hundreds of people came out and supported. People from our state government, from our local government, business leaders. It was a very warm, heartfelt, honoring ceremony to those who lost their lives in Atlanta, and also a great event to talk about those issues that have been impacting the Asian American community and Pacific Islander community for not just this year and not just last year or the last 4 years, but something that's really been going on for a very long time. And I just want you all to know that, you know, you all are American. You're not others. You're American, and we love you, and we're going to be by your side. And as the NAACP, you know, we've been at this for 112 years, trying to stand up against hate and violence. And so we're right by your side, and we're keeping all of those families who lost their mother and their grandmothers. We're keeping you all in prayer and lifted up. We love you guys, and take care.
Thank you so much, Gerald, for your powerful message. And times like this make us realize that how important it is to have friends, to have a great friends like you having our backs. And we look forward to continue working with your community, and then only when we helping each other, stand by each other, have everybody's back, have each other's back, we can be stronger. I look forward to the great partnership and working relationship, and also continue to build our great coalition together.
Oh, okay. This is Chang from the ACP, DFW ACP Foundation. Yeah, we're from the Dallas, Texas. ACP Foundation is a stand of the solidarity and with the local community to call on our local and the nation leaders to condemn anti-Asian hatred and violence. At this time of crisis, it is more important for Americans of all faiths and to stand together to do everything in our power to put an end to hate and help one another. Just 1 hour ago, Dallas area, we hold ACP Foundation and USCCC 美中商会 we co-hold the event together about anti-hate. This is a part of the UCA tonight events, and but we come a little bit early this afternoon. And we also have the Texas House Representative join us, Angie Chen Barton and Matt Shahan. Both of them gave us a speech, and they also submitted the bill last week, talking about concern Asian hate in Texas. So this is a very factor in our local community, and we also get a lot of support from the other local organization like include political organizations and also the non-benefit organizations. So this is all Chinese people, also include Asian communities response to this event, and I believe there this is also the critical time for all the people to know this is we have to together make it strong, and also stop the Asian hate, stop spreading the hatred in our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your wonderful job, ACP Foundation, to share your experiences with us. And I can feel your passion, the passion of all the previous speakers. So I'm going to invite next Texan from Houston, UCA Houston, and Professor Pei. Let's get Helen. There we go. Helen.
Yeah, okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, well.
Okay, thank you so much. So while you're doing that, I just want to give you a quick update. In Houston, we have a very strong API coalition together representing more than 20 different organizations. So today we just held an event in Houston downtown. And yeah, I don't know how many people came, but it's a big crowd. It's probably more than 1,000 people. Houston coalition is also very unique because we do have Taiwanese, Chinese, mainland, and a very diverse city. And also our congressmen and women are also very powerful leaders in the Congress, including Representative Al Green and Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Both of those are African-American leaders. So we're just really proud to have all of the African-American community, Latino community all came out to support us. So that is very important.
Helen, you can share the screen now.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So apart from, so I just put the slides quickly together to show you what we have done in Houston. And also I want to share with you something really important, really dear to my heart. I want to clarify a few important things. First of all, why are we doing this? Because some people are arguing about, you know, this man is having mental health, he's having a bad day, you know, he's sort of like having this sex addict, right? So we really need to understand here is the power imbalance. So who are empowered, who are disempowered? We are the vulnerable community. 因为我们是弱者，这个白人至上人他们是强者。So we have to really to understand power imbalance and the relationship. 如果我们不清楚这一点的话，我们就很容易被别人受骗上当。为什么呢？因为他们在说他们是they are addicted to sex. This are massage parlor. It's not even massage parlor. This word is even wrong. It is a formal business, a legal business called spa. Why do people say this? Because the moment you see this man is mentally ill, he's a sex addict, essentially, instead of he being the attacker, we're the victim, this rhetorics become like we are attacking them and he become the victim. So please, please, please understand this relationship very clear, who is empowered, who is disempowered. Otherwise, we can get this very confused. This is why Asian Americans and different communities of color and vulnerable communities are coming out together to support us because they understand this game very clearly. Why? Because white supremacists like to play this game, to play, color people versus color people, right? So we have a huge problem in our Asian American community called anti-Blackness because the white supremacists are playing this game of who are the victims, who are the attackers, and they sometimes reverse this role, right? By playing that he is mentally ill, he's sex addicted, they become the victims. So if we don't understand that, if we attack Black friends and Black neighborhood, then it's becoming Asian against Black. So this is something that may be very confusing to people. And during the Black Lives Matter, we have so many Asian Americans are against the Black Lives Matter, and even come up with a name called Hei Ming Gui. So if we say, Ya Ming Gui at this point, do you think that sounds good to other people? We're not saying Ya Ming Gui. We're saying that Asian life matters. 我们在说我们的命也是命，黑人的命也是命，拉丁人的命也是命，并不是说黑人的命是贵。亚裔人的命比别人贵，而是说我们要团结在一起。We have to be united together because we're all vulnerable community, and we have to gain our power by unite with other races, other vulnerable communities. So I want to make that really, really clear. The other thing I want to mention about is why these Asian American women are being attacked because they are the weakest of the weak. 就是他们是阴里面的更阴。我们在中文里面有阴阳二性，对吧？那事实上，西方的这个白人男生呢，他们是阳中之阳，而我们亚裔的女性呢是阴中之阴。So we are the vulnerable of the even most vulnerable. So that is also very important to understand. So they cannot turn this wheel around attacking us as if we are tempting white men to become sex addicted. So that's something we really, really need to stand strong against this rhetorics. The other thing we need to understand for Asian women at this point, we are actually crossing three very key issues. One is called xenophobia. Xenophobia 的意思就是说对外来的人的一种恐惧感，就是 people are against immigrants, especially after Trump came to power, right? There's so much anti-immigrant rhetorics. There's so much Chinese virus. Why he's calling Chinese virus? Because he is excusing himself of his own responsibility to deal with this national crisis. So he's putting that, spin it around to other people's problems. It's a Chinese virus, China's virus. And this is why we have to fight against that. We can't give them the excuse, oh, it comes from China, so it's maybe the China problem. No, that is not the point. The point is he is spin off this xenophobia rhetoric against us. The other thing about Asian women is also about racism and sexism. So racism is, again, is about white supremacy, and the sexism is the man against women. So we have three cross intersection here. So those of you who are familiar with sociology, you probably understand this is three very complex issue. We happen to be really at a crossover of three key issues here. This is why we really need to educate our community, why this is really matters to us, or why we cannot turn things against ourselves. The other thing I have seen on WeChat, which is really upsetting, which is really a problem, is some articles already came out and saying that You know, Chinese students also killed a few white students and white professors. So it's okay for white people to kill us. No, that is also completely wrong, because we cannot use that as excuse. Okay, if we killed some other people, so some other people can kill us. So can we return violence with violence? That is something that is completely wrong. So I want you to see this very clearly, that we have to stand up for humanity. We have to stand up for human value. We cannot say because we killed other people, so other people can kill us, right? So that's something we have to fight against. If you see something like that on WeChat, make sure you return back to them that what we're supposed to say. The last point I want to try to make is we are one family. Some people are arguing, saying that, oh, 这个女生她是massage parlor 的，她可能有那个性问题。Or, you know, she is from Nanning. We don't like Nanning people. That's not something you're supposed to say. If we are one family when other people are attacking us, we have to unite together. It's not like, for example, if I have a fight with my sister, so if someone come to our house and killed my sister, then I said, it's okay because I don't like her. You know, that's not something we should say. At this point, we are the people being attacked. So we have to unite together. We cannot give other people excuses saying that we don't like that woman, you know, she might be whatever problem she's having, so we don't protect her. That is not the way we do this. So as one family, we have to stand strong. So I want to conclude here by MLK's quote that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice to everywhere. This is why all of the people vulnerable, all of the people of color, all the people, whatever is under this power, to have to stand together. And this is why we can fight this war. This is how we can win. So thank you so much. I hope you all do good work. And I really want to appreciate every one of you today. Thank you.
Helen, thank you so much for your powerful message. I think injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What a powerful statement by Martin Luther King. Let's remember that these kind of incidents really brought us back to the core principles, not only for justice, also about humanity. Thank you. So next, Luby Zhang from Austin, another Texan.
Hi, so we are in Austin, Texas.
Please.
Just finishing up our vigil tonight for the victims of the Atlanta shooting. And we have a guest performer singing for us, singing for the audience right now. So we're so grateful to all the people in the Austin area who have come out to support us tonight. We've had so many speakers who've spoken for our open mic, who have shared their personal stories, who have shown solidarity with our community. So we are so grateful for everyone all across the US for doing so.
From Houston, Texas, home of Archie Bell and the Drells, where they not only sing, but they dance, Miss Sheila Jackson Lee.
This
Chairman,
was
thank you so very
Congressional
much.
Hearing on Thursday.
Let me very quickly say that all of us went into a extensive moment of mourning for the loss of those women and men and others in the killings in Atlanta. But we cannot ignore, we cannot be unsisterly and unbrotherly like to not notice the fact that they were innocent and 6 were Asian women. Asian Americans, our sisters, we will not ignore. I would like to have a video shown right now.
We just want to say stuck my face with a knife.
After the slash, the father of 3 says the attacker ran off. But as Bowie went for help, the 19-year-old suspect came back.
He just focus to my son that just stuck. But I'm trying to save them, and I suddenly I ran to them and pulled the car, but I cannot. It's a little bit late.
A 3-year-old baby cut, a father cut. The assailant did this heinous act. Are we live? The assailant did this heinous act because he thought the family was Chinese and infecting people with the coronavirus. He thought the family was Chinese and they were infecting people with the coronavirus. Take your heads out of the sand. Where is the dignity? Where is the power of the respect for all people and the love of Americans?
This was a congressional hearing.
So moved to hear your story. First of all, I want to check with you on your recovery from your injuries. How are you doing there?
I'm doing okay. I had physical therapy, surgery. I got 40% grip strength in my hand. You know, it's never going to be the same. I got pain still in my pinky. Like I don't know what they've given me medication right now for. They don't know. They're talking about maybe a second surgery to fix it. But I mean, he did a pretty good job. I just can't straighten my middle finger out or the pinky. And they had cut the tendon completely out of my pinky because they couldn't repair it. But other than that, it's healing well, I guess. It's not too bad.
I just can't imagine what would have happened had you not come along. So what motivated you to intervene in this situation?
I just don't like seeing people being picked on, violence or racism. And what he was doing, he was attacking people. And I just wanted to, I felt that I could do something to stop that. And whenever he stabbed the baby, there was no thought. It was just a reaction. Like within, it was there to stop it. And because I thought he'd killed the baby, and I wanted to stop him from harming anybody else. Because most definitely he was out to murder the family. Yeah, it's just kind of who I am, the way I was brought up. Look out for others. I believe we're all Americans. We don't need to look at each other as Chinese American or Mexican. You know, we're Americans. We all need to stand together, and there's no room for racism right now.
The next one is the head of the Latino Caucasian.
Forum as chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus is because we've seen a lot of hate directed at the Hispanic community and Latino community, as you all know as well. We've had a lot of our young boys and girls at football games and basketball games be called wetback and other slurs. And to see it happen also to communities like the Asian community, Asian American community, of course, is very troubling for us and very disheartening. But, you know, you all have our support in getting the word out to try to stop this kind of hate. You know, if there is a silver lining, one of the silver linings, as we've seen a lot of these hate crimes happen, is that communities will rally around, you know, the families and the victims, but also the folks who have helped to intervene. And that's been very encouraging to see Americans of different backgrounds come together to protect each other.
Okay, the first part was the congressional hearing on Thursday. That was the first time in 30 years the Congressional Judiciary Committee had a hearing on this issue. The second part was the Tri-Caucus Congressional Forum last October. So basically, there was not just the
Thank you very
API.
much. Let me begin by extending my deepest condolences to the families of the 8 people who passed away just a few days ago.
Sorry, Professor Pei, go ahead. Los Angeles, can you mute first? Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, finish it.
Yeah, okay, so the second part was the Tri-Caucus hearing. So you show the list that not just the Asian American, but also the Latino and the African American caucus were also there. So I think it's really important to have the solidarity with other colored people because we don't have enough people number here to be effective. We need to form alliances with others. And therefore, I think it's very important that last time I was so impressed that our community was able to raise $100,000 in the first 10 days. I think if you count that number, that was a very impressive number. There's only $55 per donor. And starting over the past year, we raised a total of $150,000 for the hero who saved the victims from Burma, and actually he becomes permanently disabled. So we're helping him to relocate from Midland to the border with Oklahoma. I think that I'm working with ACP in Dallas right now, trying to see how much we can help him. Any question?
I just wanted to comment again, thank you for your incredible leadership from the beginning to the end. So that's why you, from so much work and leadership you have been doing, also Haipei, our UC president, in arranging the congressional hearing. So it was very, personally, I feel very encouraged to see such a humanity coming out of this terrible tragedy, and especially the fundraising and also your tireless effort in putting this to action. So a lot of work. Thank you so much, Professor Pei, and all the people that is involved with this. Like you said, ACP is ACP from Dallas, and they have been doing incredible work. You have done incredible work in Houston and also in Dallas. So next we're going to invite Los Angeles. Thank you so much. It's bright in Los Angeles. So if you can unmute and show us what you're doing. Thank you so much for your patience.
Peacefully and safely. Thank you. We have a lot of voices from all over the country observing this moment. And we will have a lot of government officials and everyday citizens, community leaders to come to the stage to talk, and to make our voice heard. Now let's take a 10 minutes break and we'll come back.
We're live.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm still live. We are united. We are united with the East. So we are still going. Let's make our voice heard. Now, next coming to the stage is the organizer of this event, the Vice Mayor of the great city of San Gabriel, Mr. Tony Ding. Mr. Ding, come to stage, please.
Because the last year the COVID-19 and the election, so we have the Asia hate crime, we increased 150%. Okay, so enough is enough. So we have to stand out. So two days ago, I got a community leader that's encouraging me to stand out to have the voice heard for our whole nation. So we have the nationwide organization called the UCA, United Chinese American. They have the nationwide today from East Coast, from the West Coast right now. And for the evening, I checked that they almost 20 different cities. It's the same times to the Candlelight Vigil on time right now. So that's why we have live stream as a hope while all voice here heard. Okay, this event we want to first of all want to memorialize for the Atlantic victim and other place victim. Not just for the 8 people. These 8 people have the 6 is Asian, 2 Chinese, 4 it's Korean. So not just for the memory for them, also it's for the other place they got the Asia hate crime. So that's why we need a voice. It's heard for our community. In the second, we want to get together. Okay, use our the last year our Chinese community really do it's a very good thing for the COVID-19. They distribute a lot of PPE. Use our love to distribute a lot of PPE our community. So right now it's time to stop the hate crime. So yeah, so that's why this even happen. I really thanks all the elected officers. I call them, they have time, they come in. Okay, and also the community, a lot of the community is really supportive, and the community member is a supporter, and like a press friend also.
Thank you so much, Team Los Angeles. We wish that we could stay with you and be there with you better.
So
yeah, so
all right,
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, okay. Another issue. It's like I was assemblyman.
We are going to.
Okay. So it's a very important issue. So we need a federal.
Okay, thank you so much for your understanding. We really wish we could be there with you. So next team, and keep up with the great work, Los Angeles. And next team is going to be from San Francisco. Cheyenne Chen, one of our UCA board members, is going to speak briefly what you did in San Francisco. Thank you so much, Cheyenne.
Hey, thank you, Lily. I'm really grateful to be reporting what we have done in San Francisco today. We gather in Potsdam Square in Chinatown. The event is really have a theme to heal and also to condemn the hate crime in our communities. Today we had about, I would say, good 500 to 1,000 people, because the whole Potsdam Square is packed with people with different colors. We have a lot of speakers coming out, talking about the feeling of being hurted, and the racism, the structural racism that is happening in the American history to our Asian Americans, and also especially in the events in Atlanta, it's picking the most vulnerable in our community of women, people of colors, and also our elders in our San Francisco community is definitely not acceptable. So there's a lot of hurt, a lot of pain in our community. So today we are not only trying to call it to stop hate crimes, AAPI hate crime, but at the same time, we want our community to come up and create a safe space, create a space where we can also heal together. On the screen now that you can see, it's image that you used today. We trying to use Spotify, and we have we also use today's rally as an educational opportunity for our kids, where they can draw, where they can fly their kites, where they can write letters like "Dear Atlanta," "Dear friends," "Dear grandma," "Dear people who are hurt," "Dear San Francisco community." So "Dear" just as a way in this rally also to make sure that we think inside and release the pain and the hurt that within our community, and call on a solidarity, and also call on ourselves to have a conversation at the end that let's figure out a long-term solution, and calling for reinvestment back to our community and the programs that really run and make the community vibrant. That is pretty much what the main message is. Lily, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for your great work. Definitely one of the very well-attended events, and that indicate the great deal of our communities, again, the desire to come together to fight racism and anti-Asian hate, as well as in solidarity to heal with other communities. And most important is to pay with members of those who lost life and their families. So if we do not, Haipei, are you on the Zoom? So if you would like to, okay, so we have Michael raising the hands right now. So can you, and then also Hua Lu raising hands. So if Yuanwen, if you can unmute them and have them speak just a couple of minutes, that would be great.
Yeah, Michael, please unmute yourself.
Hi everyone, this is Michael Yang from the New Mexico, the Chinese American Association, and I just represent our association and to let you guys know this time is so terrible, is horrible and accessible. So but tonight we didn't do the Vigil, but last night and then I joined with Liberty Center of Peace and Prejustice. With a few the director, including another the nonprofit organization, a few the directors and the people almost the 50 people we work together, and from the different color, different minority, the people. So what we do is we are pray for the victim for the Atlanta this time, and also the killer, the shooters. But the thing is, we are called, the people need to stop the hate, stop the Asian hate, stop the crime, and stop the violation for the Asian people. And then as we know from the API, including all the data, recently, we have a lot of the Asian people, including the Chinese people, they have be like the pushing or some of the violation in the street. And I think this is the time or for our community, for the Chinese or American community, Asian community, and we need to stand up. We need to stand by. Like we cannot be silent. We won't be stand by. We must be stand out and speak out. This is the time, because I think that during the pandemic, the Chinese American community will do a lot of the contribution to the U.S. And this time, I think, like we have the vaccine for the virus, but there is no vaccine for the reason and the discrimination. So I think we call all our Chinese American people, we need to stand up. We need to speak out. And as we are in the New Mexico, and we want to keep the disease falling, we want to contact with the senator and the state government, the federal government, and different agency. We want to together and to precise some of the program and to precise and how and to get our Asian family, the people, and to work on it and to stop the hate and stop the crime in our community. But basically, for this moment in our New Mexico, should be really okay. But the thing is, I think from the whole nation and the United States, we need stand out and speak out. So I just let you guys and to share this information. Thank you so much, Lady. Happy.
Thank you so much, Michael. I love to see also a young voice, a younger voice as well.
So again, this is Hua Lu from Tulane University School of Medicine in New Orleans, very deep south here. So we have a small Chinese Asian community here, about a couple thousand Chinese community here. However, we do have a few hours event just had before, right before the 7 p.m. We have a very highly active discussion. While all of us feel very in deep condolence to the family, to those family who suffer of the life, and then families suffer by all the killing, including those tragic one at the Atlanta, but also the other family as well. And we also feel like reach common consensus that we, as a Asian, as a Chinese community, local Chinese American, we should participate in all the events that are, against injustice, against the racism, against anti-racist event. So we should be actively participating in those events. That's everyone's common consensus. And also we should be united, as what this central meeting once call on every time. And I hear that many of you already emphasize that. And in addition, learn how to protect yourself, to be smart, and learn and use your legal system. Use your legal system to protect yourself. And that's our common sense. And particularly start from yourself and actively participate in local service community, church activity, volunteer activity, fundraising activity, any activity that against injustice. And that's the common consensus. And we had an event that with about 50 or 60 Zoom line sign up, probably 200 or 300 people participated. And one thing I would like to emphasize as a conclusion, the president of Tulane University, Dr. Michael Fitt, actually sent a strong email message to our Asian community, to everyone in the at our university. So I think that's actually a strong message that supported by our community to our Asian or Chinese community who's suffering the the hatreds, the bias, discrimination, the criminal, and let's unite it together and actively participate in any possible activity, including this one.
Oh, hi guys. So I just want to share something from the perspective of international student. So international student from China. I know of course right now I'm working on the as a like OPT status still on the student visa. I just want to say that so I think we international community are definitely supporting this event, Stop Asian Hate, and we're devoting our best efforts. And I think sometimes like the Chinese culture, like what my parents like told me would be like, yeah, like you might not even stay here at the end, like don't involve in politics. But I think that's not right, because as long as we're staying at this land, like every second we're staying here, we're breathing the air here, we're part of the AAPI community, and we should supporting this community and be against of any racism. And from what we can do is that we should unite all the international students from different countries and the minority, and spreading out the message and starting from ourselves and be against any racism activity against the community. Yeah, that's what I said.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see international students' faces. Yeah. Obviously, we all came in the United States as international students, right? I came in here in 1988 as a graduate student. So we do wanted to, we are the same family. So thank you for sharing. Yeah. Gary from Boston, you would like to share one video, right? So Gary, are you ready to share the video? And after, yeah.
The video is ready.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Hua Wang. I'm here representing the Chinese American Association of Lexington, and also the Lexington Historical Society, and also UCMA, and also NECA. So today, we gather here in Lexington in mourning and solidarity. And we are joined by vigils and rallies across the nation. We are obviously grieving, angry, but mostly we're in pain. In this historical moment for Asian Americans, and indeed for our Americans, as a professor, I'm going to leave the homework for the entire community. There are two burning questions that are begging for answers. The first question is, why is this happening? The why. Is history repeating itself? In 1982, Vincent Chang was murdered because he was mistaken as Japanese. And in 2020, Tadataka Uno was attacked because he was mistaken as Chinese. And the second burning question, homework, is what can we do? Ever since Wednesday morning, there has been nonstop outpouring support to all of us. Amid this support, everybody is asking the question, what can we do? What can we do as individuals? What can we do as neighbors? But what can we do as organizations? And more importantly, what can we do as a community, as a nation? Tonight is the most beautiful beginning. Look at this. But it's only a beginning. It takes a village to answer the why and the what, and to move forward towards a more perfect union. In closing, let me quote MLK. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Thank you.
Professor Hua is a UCA board member as well, and a very powerful speech. I'm just very inspired by, and also as we mow the laws, and it's just very painful, but at the same time, it is very empowering seeing how our community come together. So we are going to see if there's any, I'm going to call out more teams again to see if you're here, raise your hands, or if you would like to speak. We have one more team that is on the way as soon as he's signing on right now. So do we have a Bay Area? Elaine Peng, is your team ready? Or San Diego or your team? And also Denver, we are going to call out, but actually we have been doing much better than we thought because it's very challenging technically. Yuanwen, thank you so much. You're doing an incredible job. And then also I wanted to thank Xiao behind the scenes, Shirley and Zhang Juan and Jen Xie, and a lot of people behind the scene helped to make this event possible. Very, very highly complicated technically. So anybody who would like to say a few words, and if you please raise your hand, that will be the last opportunity.
Do you want to show a few slides to fill the gap until somebody else is ready?
Sure, that's fine. Then Denver, we just saw that there are about 200, 300 people on the picture. So you can share the slides, and then we're going to wait for Xinong from North Carolina.
Okay.
As soon as he's here, and then we're going to have him present. Then we're going to close with the prayer. Thank you.
Can people see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, this is what happened in Houston today. I think that's Debbie Chen, who is the organizer and chairing the event. We have about 1,000 people attended. You can see this is in the Discovery Green here, and you can see people stretch over a pretty large area. We broke the social distance, but that's what it is. The event started from 5 p.m. in the afternoon, so we start before the sunset. The elected office start talking. We have a large number of people attended. Basically, we have 3 U.S. representatives. We have the Harris County DA office and senators. Okay, somebody else can share. I can stop. Who is sharing this screen?
I have no idea who's sharing the screen. So
okay, I can bump him off.
Okay.
Okay, if there's nothing, I can talk about another story. So that's today. We have a pretty busy day. I think after 6:30, they start to pass out the candle, but I cannot stay, so I left early. But even that, I was late here. Then let me talk a few words about the Midland hate crime. That's what we did. We recognized the hero, Zach Owen. You saw the video earlier. In June 22nd, we hold an award ceremony, and that was we get the permission from Helen Zia, and we present the Lily and the Winston Chin Advocacy Award to the 2 heroes, Zach Owen, and also the Border Patrol agent, Bernie Ramirez, on the June 22nd. And that was, we really have a physical award ceremony. And there, you see presented 2 checks to the hero and also to the victim family. And here's the picture of Haipei, who presented a check. He actually flew all the way in from Washington, D.C. to Houston to present a check. We thank him for coming all the way. And in the evening, we hold a webinar. That's from Winston Chin to George Ford webinar. Then besides the heroes, we also have Mark Tobin. He is the regional director of the ADL, the Jewish organization, and also the representative from the African American community. So I think it's really important to reach out. I think we have so many organizations co-sponsor the event. Then earlier I showed you there was a congressional hearing back on August 10th. And you can see the tricarcus, the 3 chairs were attended. And that was a very touching. The whole hearing was about 1.5 hours long. So I just show you a small session of the video. Then by December, we realized the hero who saved the victims, the Burmese family, was really in trouble. So we did the GoFundMe in partnership with ACP Foundation Dollars, and also a Papa in Austin, and OCA with Houston. So I think in the first 5 days, we raised $100,000. And by the end of the GoFundMe will raise $120,000 plus the money we raised way back in March. A total we donated about $150,000. It was about $90,000 to the hero, Zach Oben. We helped him to relocate from Midland to the border with Oklahoma. And we work with Sam's Club and Walmart to transfer his job over there, but we're still providing support to him. The good news is also, I think the Burmese family, the father in the middle here, his face was cut. He was able to use that donation to get training to drive the commercial vehicle. So early this year, he just got the license to drive commercial vehicle, but oil field will not hire anybody without experience. So again, we work with the mayor in Midland and get him a job to drive the garbage truck in Midland. So after 1 year, he can get a better paid job in the oil field. Also, last month, he became a naturalized US citizen. So that's another good thing. And here is also, since he's from Burma, so he's also in close contact with his family back in Burma. And we may have to help him if there's any problem. So that's the family. I think this really reflects the Asian value. I think they came to this country with nothing, and they suffer a real trauma. But the father worked very hard, learned new skills, and find new jobs. And now he became a naturalized American citizen. So I think he's on the way. And Zach Owen, I think you can see his hand was cut. He had permanent disability. His right hand, the grip power, grip strength has down to 40%. So he can no longer qualify for those oil field jobs he was aiming for. So we are trying to help him to not only to find a new job, but also I think he is also requires another therapy support. So we are doing all we could to support him. Okay, I think I say enough. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Pei, for filling the gaps. We are at time. So what I'm going to do is that we are going to have a closing prayer. And after the closing prayer, that if we have a couple of teams who would like to present, that you can stay. But we do want to respect everybody's time. And Hai Pei, would you please, and Reverend Shine, are you ready to close a prayer for us?
I want to thank you, first of all, for hosting. What a magnificent job you did in hosting this whole production. Thank God for you. Thank God for Hai Pei and for inviting me to come on. And as I began to close in prayer, I just want to add a few of my own remarks. And if you permit me to do so, and I must say it unequivocally, we must defy with unmitigated vigor. We must denounce the inhuman animus perpetrated. We must denounce and deplore the disrespect and disingenuous comments that were made by the sheriff. My sympathy and heart goes out to the families, goes out to the victims whose blood speaks from the ground, and their blood is crying hope for my people, and certainly for the Chinese and Asian Americans. It is our prayer and our hope that there will be some race reconciliation among us all, white, Black, Asian, Native American, all who come to America for America's dream. Send me your tired, your weary, your worn, those yearning to be free and to be shackled and chained by fear, by scare tactics, by shootings. Uh, this is our country. God bless America and God bless every American, regardless of race, creed, ethnic, or religion. We are here because out of one blood, God made all nations for to dwell on the face of the earth. And let's do all we can. And I listened intently to every presentation. And I want to tell you, it was remarkable. It was outstanding. And consequently, I think that our God in heaven will sanction what was done, and the best is yet to come. Thank you for allowing me these closing remarks, because my heart is with the Asian American women, particularly for all Asians in general, scared, angry, afraid, fearful, but we know that we can work together and bring an end to racism, sexism, and xenophobia. We can do it. Let me ask this one question for all to consider as they go their way. Did these 8 women die in vain? Answer that question for yourself. And then take to yourself what we can do. Where do we go from here? Did these 8 women die in vain? And their children now without a mother, a grandmother. Contemplate an answer. Decide where we will go from here. I am with you in every way possible. Our prayers, our support, whatever we can do. This must end. Racism, xenophobia, sexism must end. And this country doesn't belong to one singular race. It belongs to all of us by God's grace. Thank you ever so much again. Our Father, the Father of us all in this human family, tragedy has stricken this family, this ethnic community, but they too are your people. They belong to you in a special way. And at this time, when hearts are grieved and heavy, when there's a lot of sorrow and tears, a lot of pain being shared, but there is an end to all of this. And to thee we come and thank you for the host and what she was able to do to bring so many together from across the length and breadth of this country. We pray, God, that your will be done and that justice will prevail. Where there's injustice, let justice come through. As Amos, the Old Testament prophet, said, let justice run down like a mighty stream. And so let it happen because of thy people who have suffered so severely. Bring healing, help, and hope for all. For I pray in my Savior's name, the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Evan Shine, thank you so much. We started the Zoom with a prayer and a song. So we're going to finish the Zoom, this wonderful gathering with a song. So Ying Cao, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you.
So this is a song by Bob Dylan. I think this is very fitting because this is a song to reflect in event like this. By the way, the Princeton Chinese American community is going to host a big visual and rally next Saturday. So we'll send the information around. So I already posted the lyrics on the chat window. So please feel free to sing along with me. Thank you all for your participation.
how many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sands? Yes, and how many times must a man noble flies before they're forever bands? The answer, my friend, is blow in the wind. The answer is blow in the wind. Yes, how many years might a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? And how many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times can a man turn his head and plenty he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing the wind. The answer is blowing the wind. Yes, how many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? And how many years must one man have before he can see people cry? Yes, and how many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing the wind. The answer is blowing the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing the wind. The answer is blowing the wind.
Wow. Wow. You brought hope to life while we experience pain. Thank you so much for your beautiful song and your gift sharing with us. Thank you everyone for attending the Zoom call tonight, and thank you for your grace and your patience as we struggle through the technology, but give Yuanwen and our volunteer team a huge hand for their resilience and their persistence. Thank you for all the speakers and the teams, and we're very sorry that we still have a few teams who has not been presenting yet, but the official program, Haipei, where are you? And thank you for a wonderful leader, Haipei, who has probably worked sleepless nights for many nights to bring this together. It's easy for me just to show up and, you know, just to look pretty and say a few words, but the hard work is behind the scenes. So thank you for all the silent heroes again. Yuanwen and Xiaoxiao and Jianxie and Zhang Juan and Joey and all the executive team members and for your great work. So everybody have a good night. And if you want to hang out here to just chat for a little bit, and Haipei will be in charge.
Thank you for our whole team. Has tirelessly, sleepless 3 days putting this together, and many of our partners across the country, over 20 cities, and some were going on tomorrow evening in many other cities too. So this is an amazing job, and that we have come a long way, and the tragic events of this can only make us stronger, and we will go far and high from this point onward as Chinese and Asian American in one big family. Thank you.